Our podcast is a part of the World Podcast Network, now with over 1,000 podcasts. Visit the World Podcast Network at worldpodcast.network to listen to podcasts in over 12 genres. Come vote our podcast episodes up and help us rise on the leaderboard. If you have a podcast of your own, you can join for free. Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or Learn About Me episode once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore. We're currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man of 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing the 3rd episode of Hunt for Love. So before we do, again, just one quick announcement. This month, we're in July now, so you can look out for the first episode. Will be a bonus episode of The Fall of Diddy, which will probably be coming sometime in the middle of the month. But if you like that, just as a note, the true crime documentary for this month is The Fall of Diddy. So if you do want to get the remaining, I don't know if I really covered much of the 5th episode, honestly, so we'll say 4. If you want to get the rest of the 4 episodes, the full episodes of that documentary, my coverage of that documentary, you can head on over to the Patreon at realityt times 2 / patreon.com/realityt times 2. Okay, let's head on to some hot goss. So this Bachelor star has gone public with a new relationship, and his family has some thoughts. Let's see what this is about. Okay, hard launching a new relationship is one thing. Hard launching it to Bachelor Nation with your entire family watching is a whole different flight path. So for Peter, or Pilot Pete Weber, making an Instagram official with Brooke Sill didn't just make headlines. It set off a comment section takeover from the people who know him best. So on June 27th, the 33-year-old Bachelor alum took to social media with a picture of himself and Sill, who's 28, cuddled up in a rowboat. Worth the wait, Weber captioned the post, taking his sweetheart. Moments later, his mom, Barb, chimed in saying, "She's just as beautiful on the inside as she is on the outside. Beyond happy for you both. Love you too." Peter's dad, Peter Weber Sr., didn't hold back either. I know this day would come for you, bud, and boy, did you strike gold. I'm so happy for you too. Peter's brother Jack added, so happy for you. You deserve it. And rounding out the family cheer squad, Jack's wife, Christine Weber, called the post beautiful in every way. She is pretty. So the love didn't stop with family. A few reality TV regulars dropped into the comment section too. Big Brother alum Janelle, I think it's Prezina. Sorry, I don't watch her brother. She wrote, "Love this for you. Can't wait to meet her." While fellow Big Brother star Kat Dunn declared the Lovebirds the cutest couple. MTV's Trishelle Cantella, best known from the Real World and The Challenge, added, "So happy for you." Bachelorette alum Michael Alio. I don't know who that is. Second, the sentiment writing, "So happy for you guys." Fans also welcomed the pairing with a side of deja vu. Why did I think this was a throwback with Hannah? Damn, don't say that. They're exes and they had a lot of sex in a windmill, so maybe we shouldn't say Hannah. Um, Another said, "I thought this was an old photo of you and Hannah. Both women are beautiful. Best wishes to you both." But apparently a lot of people think she looks like Hannah. Let me go back to this picture. Hold on. I'm gonna go through. I I don't think she looks like Hannah, honestly, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't see it. But anyways, congrats to Pete on that. So we're staying true to Bachelor Nation. And this one's a throwback, y'all. This is a name I don't think a lot of us have heard in a long time. So Bachelorette's Deanna breaks silence after a custody battle win. So I don't know what this is about. Let's see. So Bachelor alum Deanna broke her silence on her bitter court battle with ex-husband Steven Stagliano after a judge granted her plea over custody. According to court documents obtained by Us Weekly, Deanna, who's 43 now, and her husband faced off in court on June 25th for a hearing on her plea to reinstate their previous custody agreement. After hearing from both sides, the judge ordered that the exes will return to their previous custody visitation schedule until further order of the court, which is what Deanna was seeking. The court said Deanna will have to undergo SoberLink testing before each visit, and the testing shall be programmed random testing. What? The judge told Deanna and her husband, or now ex, to defer to SoberLink when it comes to the test results. The court also ordered the exes to exchange financial information after Stagliano asked for his support application to be reduced. In her first statement since the judge's decision, Deanna tells us, quote, "The last few years, especially the past few months, have been some of the most challenging of my life. Throughout it all, I've remained committed to prioritizing my physical and mental health so I can be the best version of myself for my two children. I'm deeply grateful to the judge who took the time to truly listen and understand our situation." She added, "This decision brings peace, hope, and most importantly, the chance to continue being present in my children's lives where I belong. I am thankful for a fair and just process rooted in the facts, for my legal team, and for everyone who stood by me during this journey. Love wins, and I'm moving forward with hope and strength for all that the Lord has in store for me. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude." Stagliano tells us, "I'm grateful the court restored joint custody and placed healthy boundaries in place. I trust God is working through this season. My focus remains on being an intentional father, and I continue to pray for healing and restoration to our family." Um, I don't know if this is the guy she ended up picking, but Deanna and Stagliano wed in 2011 and split in 2023. They worked out a divorce deal in June 2023, where they agreed to share custody of their two minor children. Stagliano was ordered to pay $1,000 per month in child support and another $1,500 in spousal support. Recently, Deanna admitted she violated a provision in her custody deal by drinking around the kids on April 3rd. She claimed Stagliano was refusing to allow her regular access with her kids after the incident. He has made inconsistent offers of agreeing to visit and then canceling at the last minute. She said she started recovery and had been sober for over 62 days at the time of her filing in early June. Deanna told the court she had taken all alcohol tests as required. As us first reported, Stagliano asked the court to deny Deanna's emergency motion. He said that he was supportive of her early recovery work, but said it was not proof of sustained sobriety. Deanna previously denied she had issues with drinking. As us first reported, Deanna and Stagliano's drama erupted on February 27th when she was arrested during a custody exchange at her home. They both accused the other of being in the wrong, but police arrested Deanna. She was released hours later. No charges were ever brought over the incident. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a bunch of ads. This is so annoying. In recent court documents, Deanna accused Stagliano of owing her $23,000 in back support. She told the court that her ex has never paid child support since he agreed. Oh, God, I'm sorry, guys. This is so stupid. Agreed to do so. At this point, Stagliano is $23,000 behind on child support payments, so his request to modify this makes sense. Stagliano has never paid for a haircut or clothing for the children. She also accused him of failing to take drug tests as required by their custody deal. Deanna, who earns over $16,000 a month as a flight attendant, called him out for being voluntarily unemployed. In response, Stagliano said he had been applying to jobs after losing his job at a gaming company, but had not been successful. He said he was going to start driving Uber to generate money. The exes will appear in court in October to provide the court with an update and to go over the plea to modify support. And just to say, because of the context of what we're talking here, if you're someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, national hotline. I'm assuming in America, but that doesn't matter for anybody. And for Canadians, you can, I don't know what's out there, but you can definitely look into things. But the helpline number is 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. Okay. But anyways, that's basically it for that, guys. Let's move on to the reason we're here, and that is to talk about episode 3 of Hunt for Love. So we left off with Elise coming in and being like, "Hi, Rob." So she continues on to say, "So I'm gonna say to you, in my past relationships, I have been lied to. So I think that I'm just being triggered because, like, you're a dick. So I apologize. And going forward, like, we could just see what happens." you know? He also says that he's sorry, although he's bullshitting. He's not sorry, let's be real. Um, and he's like, I was genuinely not like, um, and I was like, I was genuinely into you though. I think he was into her until she got like a little cuckoo magoo. But he's also gaslighting the fuck out of her. So, one does tend to get a little cuckoo if they're being gaslit. Anyways, she's kind of says like, my fatal flaw is being insecure, but like, I'm a genuine girl. She is who she is. She hasn't really wavered too much. He says, listen, I accept the apology, but she's a wild girl. Maybe I wrote her off too soon. That's code for she's a wild girl and she probably is phenomenal in bed. Maybe I wrote her off too soon. She's got layers. I guess we'll see who she is. Then we kind of have this scene with Colt and one of the dating experts. My takeaway from this really is, why does he have a picture of himself on a pillow? It's giving me Ed vibes, but not as bad. But he's having this conversation with her. He's basically mentioning like, I'm kind of into May, but I'm also into Courtney. He's like, with Courtney, we connected as friends, and she's super smart. What? When I think Courtney, I don't think super smart, although she says she is, and she graduated from a finance program. So clearly she has some smarts about her. I just don't see that. You know what I mean? The first thing I think of is not super smart. A woohoo girl is the first thing I think. and I love her for it. Um, but he's worried about us men. But don't worry about him. Don't worry about that. Like, worry about you. What that guy is doing is not your problem. Do you, boo? And, maybe you'll win in the end. So, do you think you could ask one of them out tonight? Like, he says, I don't know. Maybe I will. So, we'll see. Then we see Cole, like a lovesick puppy, bringing breakfast to Jen at her room. They go into the pool to eat it, but then it starts raining, so they go back inside, and he's kind of like drying her off, and he's like, I don't want to touch you inappropriately. That's code for ooh. Usually the type I want to touch. I'm kidding. I'm not. I mean, he could be bi. I don't know. My radar is going off, and I don't know why she's not saying it, but I'll tell you why. We're not there yet. I kind of want to get past the arguments that are about to happen in the next episode. So I want to get past that first. Before I put my theories out there with Jen here and Colt, but he says he's going to touch her inappropriately, sir. The last thing a woman wants to hear when she's kind of into you is that you don't want to touch her inappropriately. Touch me inappropriately. Isn't there like a song by Hilary Duff? Is it Hilary Duff? What is that song called? Oh, okay, hold on, guys. Pause. I need to figure out this song because there's literally a song out there by Hilary Duff. I think it's her that I want to figure out. 1 second. Yeah, okay, I found it. So it's called Reach Out and Touch Me. That's what it's called. It's just called Reach Out. Reach out and touch me. Okay, I just unlocked something. First of all, A, don't know how I remember that song. 2, yeah. But that's what we want. Reach out and touch us. Don't be like, I don't want to touch you inappropriately. Nothing is more of a turn off. So yeah, he says that, but she starts asking him, which is really interesting why she's asking him this question. But she starts asking him, so what about your sexuality? And my guy's like, what about it? What about it? What? Who's talking? Who told you anything? Like, he's getting so animated. Calm down, Cole. But she's like, what do you like? Like, what are you into? Oh, ooh, okay. She's like, okay, we can talk about that. We can talk about what I'm into. It's fine. Men. Anyways, um, he's like, I like to do weird things with, or she says, or I like to do weird things with my partner. Like, what? Like, what do you like to do that's weird with your partner? Role playing? That's not weird. That's not weird. When I think weird thing with your partner, my thing that I would think is weird is kind of like golden showers. That's weird. It's your kink, but that's like the abnormal thing. That's what I would think was weird. Or, I don't know, something around the lines of role play, but like not quite role play, like something around it. That's what I would think. Anyways, you next. What do you like that's weird? He's like, I like to go outside the bedroom. What does that mean? Does that mean like you like to do things out in public? Do you like to literally do anything else outside the bedroom? Like, what does that mean? Um, but then he says, I have to save the rest. I don't want it to scare you. Nothing about you makes me think, ooh, scary. So anyways, they're going to the club. Cortney is like, yes, going into my element. Gonna get white girl wasted. But I want to tell Tim about the things that's being said about him. Like, this is some hot tea. Do you think I'm gonna keep this to myself? Like, no way. I feel like I would be a humanitarian by telling him, wait, I I don't think that's the definition of humanitarian. I think if you just say, I'm being a good friend, humanitarian is like doing things for the world, doing things for other people, um, people less fortunate usually, not telling them that someone's talking shit. Um, like, don't shoot the messenger. Then Tim says, we're going to the club. We're going to go let loose and cut a rug. And Tiffany's like, let loose, cut a rug. No. Like, how old are you? 100? Then Elise asks Usman, what should I do about the Rob situation? You're asking him? You're asking him that question. The man who married BGL. Him? But she's like, you know what? I'm going to go talk to him and see where things are. You literally just told him, let's take things slow. Let's figure things out. And you're literally going to be like, what are we? What? Elise starts asking about what happened with Jen in the hot tub. Again, came from that. But anyways, I noticed the cougar cub, whatever his name is, Joe. Where's he from? That accent, it kind of gives me Trini or Guyanese. Um, I don't know, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So we're talking about men with micro penises. Hmm. You can apparently get Botox to make it, I don't know, bigger or girthier. I don't know. Chantel says, if I see a micro penis out there in the wild, like, here's a pamphlet. Like, yeah. So we start talking. Did something happen between Usman and Courtney in Istanbul? They both say no, nothing. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I think something definitely happened. You can't convince me otherwise. But he'll punch anyone in the face again. Like, what's wrong with this guy who comes near her? And Tim's like, okay, that's a little bit aggressive. You know, in our culture, that would be seen as a little bit of aggression. So maybe tone it down. Yeah, what is with you? Calm it down. Hey, she's not your possession. She can talk to whomever she wants. Courtney is like, Colt is sweeter than I thought because he usually yells at his ex and his mom. Yeah, we all saw that. Especially when he was yelling at Debbie. Not great. And then we kind of say Jen is teaching Cole, I think it's Cole, some bachata. And Colt is doing the chicken dance on the side. Yeah. Bachata and chicken on the side. What the hell is happening? Tiffany's like, it looks like a bird mating call dance. Then Chantel comes over and says, you got to tone it down. You are not attracting ladies. And then she starts teaching him, I think it's salsa. She starts teaching him salsa. And yeah, just be a human being. Then Jen walks over to Rob, flirting with him. He's flirting back. More on that in a second. Rocky does a handstand. Tiffany's like, I'm feeling something. And Tim's like, where? Tim, if you have to ask, then you shouldn't be going near it. And Tim is like, I need a porn stash because clearly that works with people. It doesn't work with me. I hate the porn stash. Anyways, so while Rob and Jen are talking, Colt just kind of comes over, just charges over really. And like, hey guys, how you doing? How you know Rob? And Jen's like, we just met. Well, hopefully he has good intentions, but it seems messy. You're messy, sir. Cole, you're messy. She is also allowed to talk to whomever she wants to. And if you're gonna go over there and be like, hey, what you doing? You know him? Go here much? Like, no. Tim also tells Rob, listen, you can have anyone else here because you're good looking, whatever. But like, don't touch Jen. She will destroy you. And she will. And she will. Then Elise comes on over and is doing her crazy shit again. So you're talking to Jen. So, like, I thought we've established, like, we're gonna let this ruminate and we're gonna, come back to this. You know what I mean? Like, calm down. Um, Clearly you're unhappy, he says. It's like, you don't determine my happiness, but clearly he kind of does because you keep coming over here and talking to him. I mean, it's the second date, um, so soon to be acting like this, which is true. It's insane. She says, keep my name out of your mouth and find someone else. he says, okay, cool, cool, cool. Because what he's been trying to do. It's what he's been trying to do. What he's been doing. Like it's, anyways. Then we see Colt. This was hard to watch. Colt talks to May, and he basically asks her out on a date, and she says, "Oh, oh, it's gonna be a no from me, dog. We vibe, but like not for dating." She says she tends to, not to him by the way, but she says she tends to go for fitter guys. I mean, I could play a video games with him. Oh, poor Colt. Then he goes over to Cortney and she says, I feel bad that he got rejected, but hopefully that doesn't like discourage him from asking other people out on dates. Hint, hint. Then Cortney tells Tim, so I heard you paid for Jen to get a strip dance and like you watched. And Tiffany's like, ooh, like this is not Courtney being a good friend, but more so she's just really trying to stir the pot because that's what Courtney wants to do. That's why Courtney's here. He says, listen, I'm getting really frustrated because for 6 years I have been defending my sexuality. He's like, seriously, I am done. And he goes over to confront her and Jen says, like, everyone saw it. Who? Who saw it? Because number one, we never saw it as a viewer. So that makes me think that the cameras weren't even there. Or if the cameras were there, they edited it out because it wasn't nothing to see here. So who is everyone? Because anyone else, I don't care. They know you and they're going to defend you. So I don't care that everyone saw it, you know? And she's like, why deny it? And he says, deny what? And she's like, did you or did you not hire a stripper to dance for me? And he straight up says, yes, I did. Yes, I did. And again, that doesn't mean that he's gay. It just means he's into voyeurism potentially. And that doesn't necessarily mean he's into men. He's just, I don't know. It's not something I'm into, but it's not an abnormal thing for people to be into. Um, he's he's like, or she says, I talk because you talk shit. No, honey, you talk shit without him talking shit too. Let's be real. And then Chantel gets involved, and Jen's like, why are you even getting involved? It doesn't involve you. But when you are talking shit to people, and then he's also talking shit to people, you're involving everybody here. And you're doing it here in the club. So he literally says to her, grow the fuck up. And the side eye when she goes from Chantel to him, like it's mwah. It was it was funny. But yeah, no, seriously, I agree with him. She needs to grow the fuck up. Stop focusing on Tim when you say you don't give a fuck about Tim. So why are we still on Tim's dick? Why? Anyways, that is it, guys. That is it for this episode. So we'll be going into the next one or whatever I'm planning to do here because I still got lots to do. But we'll figure it out whatever episode I end up on. And yeah, that is it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there. And you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Week Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.